to No Gimmicks. We are finally back live and in living color. I'm Brady. That is JT over there. Oh my gosh, man. What has been going on? It has been such a long time.
I ventured out to the West Coast and I love it.
Oh, I love the excitement. I did see
The gas is
that
butt fucking expensive in California. Yeah.
you went to Disney World, you son of a bitch.
Land
Disneyland, my bad. And
price.
you said, I'm coming for you, Brady. Well,
Yeah.
I'm here. What do you got to say?
You can't even tell how many fingers I'm holding up, so it's not fair to beat up a cripple.
Hey man, no, for real. What's been going on? Like, how you doing? Like,
Bro, I told you last time that I moved out from behind the shit fan. Well, apparently the shit fan got caster wheels put on and it's been following me around. So I've been busier than a one-legged man in an ass kicking contest. But things are going and smoothing out. The missus is finally calming down a little bit. Like I said, unfortunately, we're getting ready to make our big move across country next month. But I think we're going to have a little bit of downtime. We put a calendar on the refrigerator and we keep a pencil by it, and we just keep penciling it in. And I can see it from here between now and that appears to be July 16th. I only have 3 days with nothing on the calendar.
well, you want to know what the beautiful thing is? I know what 4 of those days consist of.
Me whooping
Four
your
of those
ass,
days.
me drinking, me whooping your ass while I'm drinking, and then maybe pretending I like you.
Hey man, that makes you happy. It makes me happy. Super excited for then. That's gonna be July 3rd through the 5th or 6th or something like that. I'm so
Yeah,
stoked.
so as of right now, No Gimmicks crew will be together the evening of the 3rd through the 4th, 5th, and then separating the 6th.
And then the next time I'm going to see you live and in living color is at Survivor Series
In
in
San Diego.
the Pedro's Stadium. Padres
Patros.
Stadium.
Patros. Somebody's been to
Padros,
the
Padres.
bar.
I've had a few drinks. Anyway, we're going to see Survivor Series, which that's going to knock that off my list, and which means Brady will have all four big shows under the bridge. Don't got to worry about that anymore. So excited.
I will be after that. I will only be missing SummerSlam.
And you know what? SummerSlam is a situation where I think it's going to head to the West Coast before we know it because they're doing stadium shows finally,
Yeah.
and they're doing 2 night events. So we'll see what happens. But
So we we never have a whole big plan coming in to these recordings, and I think that hits right off with things that we kind of talked about last time, but is still an ongoing thing with SummerSlam being 2 nights and WWE running back Las Vegas for Mania next year. What's going to happen when they run SummerSlam back again after the hopeful success of it this year? Or because they have this awesome partnership with Vegas, or do they give it to New Orleans? Because I still think NOLA kind of got the shaft on that deal.
dude, I want SummerSlam to go to the Globe Life Field, like straight up 40,000 people both nights. That's perfect. AEW is fixing to show off what that stadium can do, so WWE is going to want to buy in, and I think that we're going to get some more wrestling events come through North Texas, which is will be great. We already know what it's like out there in California, dude. There's a fucking show every 2 months, so
Bro, like I so for those of you tuning in who've never lived in the middle of the country, um, it gets hot.
yeah.
Uh, Texas and Oklahoma, I mean, it's in the 90s. We're sweating. We went out to California and we were in the Anaheim area because we went to Disneyland and we had a bar reservation at like 9 o'clock at night. And we're just strolling through downtown Disney at 7:45, and I was like, I got to buy a jacket. I'm freezing. It was 62 degrees. And then the next day we went to the park and there was this like 20-year-old guy. He was in shorts and a shirt, and he's sitting next to me, like on the railing, like profusely sweating, and literally going, "I think I'm gonna pass out." Bro, it was 85 degrees.
So I've been on the West Coast, and I have a buddy who lives in the very northwest corner of Washington, and I'm over here with like two pairs of socks on and a hoodie. And this guy's over here in shorts and a t-shirt, and he's pouring sweat. Like it's just a different
Like,
environment.
hey, I've been all around the world. I personally don't mind uh, a humid hot. Like I feel at ease in it, being from Georgia, and so I go to some of these places, and I'm just like, you people are. And again, they're making fun of me because I'm walking around in a jacket in friggin' June.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Well, other than that, bro, what do you think about Money in the Bank? Like, let's talk about that a little bit.
So one of my dear friends and mentors was departing, so I had Money in the Bank on my screen, sitting on my other buddy's living room floor as we were laughing and joking and eating. Uh, I if Money in the Bank was not a gimmick pay per view with two gimmick matches, it would have been doo doo.
They started off with the Money in the Bank with a women's match, the women's Money in the Bank, and the star of the show obviously was Alexa. I mean, come on, no hands. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just what it was.
that's too easy.
And they let Naomi win the Money in the Bank briefcase for what reason? Like, I don't understand.
I
I'm hoping that there's a push behind it that does well, but Naomi and her heel character has been garbage, in solely my opinion, and I just could not get
I've been
behind
very,
that.
very, 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 very clear. Never cared for her. She
Yep,
doesn't have it to me. Uh, I'm not happy, but you know, there's somebody out there who is. And it's what makes it so bad for me is it's not I want to tune in to watch her lose. It's just I don't want to tune in and watch her.
you're right. I'd rather watch AEW than watch Naomi. So
It's
that's just
NASCAR season. I got races to watch.
yeah. See, I don't have anything going on right now other than baseball, but that generally doesn't happen, interfering with Monday Night Raw or
Yep.
SmackDown. So it's a situation where do I want to watch Naomi win the Women's World Championship or Women's WWE Championship? No, I don't. I
I
don't
think
have
she's going
any.
to be the first women's loser. She is going to because the men's Money in the Bank went for a hot minute with 100% success rate. Uh,
Right.
I think Naomi's going to be the first one that fails.
And I hope that's the truth, and I hope that that happens sooner than later. I don't want to see this get drug on, and I have a feeling that it's going to. So we'll see.
She's either going to be the first one to lose it or the first one to cash it in on a women's mid card title.
Like the IC or the
Women's United States, yeah.
and it's going to be versus Zelina Vega. That would be the choice, or now Becky Lynch. Um,
It's going to
which
be one of those things like they're finally going to put it on Jade and she's going to screw Jade and reignite that feud for no reason.
yeah, I mean, 100%. Um, After that, we got the Becky versus Lyra match, which, hey
Not
man,
mad.
I thought the match was fun. I thought they fucking went, dude. Am I upset that Becky won? Absolutely not. Big Becky Lynch fan. Whoop.
Imagine that.
And here's the thing with that though, and you have to agree to some extent. Is Becky's gonna do nothing but elevate that title, and then when Lyra comes back to get it, it's going to make it
Understand, I too am a Becky Lynch fan, but I'm not a fanboy like you.
okay. Yeah, I wore Becky Lynch shirts all through, Um, hanging like 8 of them in my closet.
Yeah, and I'm okay
But
with it, but it's just fun to watch you lose your mind about it.
yes,
It's what you Drew
but you know what?
McIntyre fans do. You got one of those shirts in your closet too.
That's retired. It's folded up in a box neatly. I'm so
There's
excited
photos
about
of
it.
you carrying a Drew McIntyre championship at Monday Night
I
Raw.
will never have to wear that again. Thank you. I will never lay that line. So anyway, I'm super excited that Becky's the champion, and we're gonna talk about Monday Night Raw in a minute. But that was a fun match. It really, really was, and I think that we know how it's gonna end, which is fine. But match is great. So
I think the ending was a little bit extra. Like I understand the whole like setup they did with Lyra jumping her, but there was a
yeah,
that now again a very small card, but that just kind of drug on. Like, and again, I
it
know
did.
I was distracted being with other people, and I wasn't trying to be super rude, but I have other commitments, and that was obviously important to me. But it's like, okay, we get it. You're the champion.
Yeah,
Make her raise your hand. Haha. Okay, you finally. It was like Lyra forgot that she was supposed to beat her ass.
it was kind of like the Shane O'Mac best in the world gimmick. You remember when all that was going on?
Best in the world.
Yeah. Anyway, and then we got the Dom versus God, I can never remember his name. He's from AAA, but for the IC title, that impromptu
Should have
match.
been Mr. Iguana.
It was, yeah, it should have. But the match was fun. It was a great match.
Sure.
Quick, fast, and in a hurry. And then Dom won, obviously. Yeah, moving on from that. Um, I mean, what else do you need to say? I mean,
Oh, I got something up for Dom, and I texted it to you during Monday Night Raw. We'll talk about that.
yep. And then after that, we got the God, man, I can't even remember the order of operations here. Was it the Money in the Bank, the men's Money in the Bank match? And then, of course, we got Seth winning, which, whatever,
I
man. Yeah,
uh, uh, like I I I don't know anymore.
yeah,
I liked the idea of this. I still like the idea of this little, and I don't know whose faction it is. Is it Paul Heyman? Is it Seth's? Is it no one's? Modern day evolution, whatever you want to call it, right? I like the idea of it, but I wanted it to gain more steam. I wanted, you know, uh, let's use the bloodline as an example, right? Like the bloodline kind of took a minute, like it built evolution, while albeit abrupt, when you look back on it, took a minute to get great. And it looks like they're going to start stacking heavyweight on this Money in the Bank. We're going to get Braun Breaker in another championship match somewhere sometime in the next couple months. Uh, you know, I don't need I feel like they're trying to use Seth to carry Raw right now, and I think that ship sailed after his heavyweight championship run. It's almost like they're putting all their eggs in that one basket because he is the only true mainstay there week after week delivering promos, or his faction stable is out there delivering these moments week in and week out.
yeah, 100%. I mean, it's kind of like the same as what they did with Evolution. I mean, they used Triple H in the same aspect. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. We're I guess gonna find out. Seth's not cashing in and not winning a title. That's just not happening. But are they going to? My question is: are they going to go to this title, or are they going to go with him winning the World Heavyweight Championship again? And that's I guess it all
I,
just depends on what path they want to take with Roman, and that's the sad part for me is I know that all paths now for Seth lead to Roman Reigns,
well,
and
so
it's
let's
either
talk about that. I mean, do they? Uh, I'm seeing a lot of dirt that TKO is not happy with Roman's deal.
No, yeah, I've seen that too, and they're trying to
So
revise it and trying to figure out what's going on with it. But tell me, like, where do you see Seth going with the Money in the Bank? You've got Cena with the Undisputed Championship
he's
right now,
retiring at the end of the year.
but is he taking the belt with him? Like what's the like what? I guess this is where it all gets so confusing. Like he's got 18 dates left. Okay, so is Seth going to cash in on this guy, or is Seth now going to cash in on Gunther? And we can talk about this on when we talk about Monday Night Raw. But my biggest thing was I expected Seth to cash in on Monday. Like I straight up
I
was like,
text you that I was waiting on it.
yeah, like what's going on here? Like there was nothing involved with that match, and I expected something to come of it, and just like, okay, I don't
Well,
know.
and that's I and it goes back. I it's no secret I was never a big Roman Reigns and Bloodline fan.
Yeah,
Why do we need another Roman and Seth?
I think that a Roman and Seth feud would be okay, but they have to do it right, and that's the thing. It's gonna have to be
I
a
don't need another
build,
Roman Reigns in WrestleMania main event spot.
even if it's night one.
No, I don't need it. I didn't want it this year. How many times? It's like, and my thing is like whether anyone wants to admit it or not, Roman Reigns is not relevant right now. We do not watch to look for Roman Reigns. We are not waiting for Roman Reigns. There's too
Yeah,
much other shit happening.
yeah, and I can agree with that, hundred
We don't
percent.
need him. Just like I said a year ago, we don't need Roman Reigns.
And just like I said a year ago, we don't need The Rock. And it's yeah, I guess the same thing. Like we are just getting to the point in life where that I guess has just played its course and we're done with it.
But
But
I mean,
why do we?
so we know, like, and we talked about this off. There's no shot that we're going to watch CM Punk take that title from John Cena.
No,
Um, I do I want another Rollins and Punk feud? No, but now there's a title. Okay. Uh, you know, is I mean Cody's back now. Is he destined to take that title back from John Cena, or is he going to finally move on somewhere? And you forget it is a new year. We're going to have a draft. Are they going to do the unthinkable and unexpected and split Seth's faction up because maybe Braun Breaker gets a little too big for that group? Are they going to bring John Cena back because we don't know when the draft happens because it's made up? What happens if they swap titles? What if they bring John Cena back to Raw?
and I've said that
Which I
before.
mean, he's primarily been there anyway.
Right, and I've said that before. I think if anything needs to happen right now, they need to bring the World Heavyweight Championship over to fucking SmackDown and bring the Undisputed over to Raw.
Yeah,
Like I think that needs to happen just to mix things up a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I don't know
I
where they're going with this right now.
and again in what seems like a fiscally austere environment for TKO, trying to getting rid of superstars. We're going to get the Ron Truth, our Truth killings in a second. Uh, but they're wanting to renegotiate Roman's contract, and I'm hearing and seeing rumors that people aren't liking LA Knight because he's too old. But I think the man deserves at least one round with the belt. I mean, so I, I don't know that I would be mad with a Seth Rollins and LA Knight feud. Put put some kind of gold on LA Knight, a big title, and let the cash in happen, and
Yeah,
get a rematch, and then call it quits there. I'm not mad about
yeah,
it.
no,
Uh, the ever dangerous NXT call ups. I don't think there's anyone hot enough in NXT to get called up and go straight for a big title like that. But again, you you free up an Intercontinental or United States champion and at least let them contend. I'm not saying
yeah.
Dominic Mysterio. I don't think he's the guy. I don't think he ever will be. I think he's found his niche, and I think he's going to ride that out.
I think Dom is where he needs to be.
Yeah, but I also am tired of the Judgment Day, and that will kill Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, as soon as that's gone, his character is
Yeah,
wiped out. I do love. what Finn's doing though, and you playing off what we talked about last
Oh
time you and I
God,
recorded,
yes,
dude. His little conniving shit in the background is the best.
yeah,
So, yeah, you can't tell me that Finn isn't making the Judgment Day what it is. So
yeah. Well, so I guess before we jump head deep in, because we're trickling in towards Raw, we got to talk about the main event of Money in the Bank. Uh Here it is. I'm going to do it once. I'll say it, and then it'll probably never be uttered again, just because I'm tired of seeing it and hearing it all over the internet. Logan Paul's pulling his weight. Logan Paul, in my heart, I like to think that he's trying his best to respect the business and do right and be entertaining and not just count it as a paycheck. I want to believe that, and I'm going to believe that till I'm proved otherwise. But I still don't want to see him. He needs to stop getting all these unique opportunities. And when I say unique opportunities, right? Sure, he hasn't held anything but the United States Championship, but he needs to get out of the main event picture. He needs to stop being the one to tag team with John Cena. He needs to stop just randomly showing up and picking his battles and coming and going as he pleases. He's not that fucking special.
the only reason why he continues to get what he wants is because he's a fucking celebrity YouTube sensation,
And
and
he's paying
people
bills with
know
Prime.
him.
He's paying for
Yeah,
sponsorship.
that's 100%. That's it. Do I think that he's doing the Lord's work? No, I don't. And do I think that I wanted to watch that main event because Logan Paul was in it? No, I didn't. The only reason why I watched that main event was because of Cody and Cena. And yeah, man, I think the highlight of that was obviously the ending of the match whenever we got our truth come back. You know,
100%.
screw yeah, that was it, man. That should not have main evented the show. That should have opened the show, or it should have been mid card. I mean, but the only reason it is main events because it had Cena in it. I mean,
I, sure. Um, and again, and I've said this since WrestleMania. I'm not happy with how they determine who the main event is.
yeah,
Um, Again, I said it already, but you can say I'm right, wrong. I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. Fact. Money in the Bank pay per view is a gimmick ass pay per view to support a gimmick match. Now we have to have two of them.
I think the Money in the Bank is a ton of fun.
Sure.
It is a ton of fun when it's done the right way. But
100%.
when we know who the winner is going to be, that's when it's like ish. The women's Money in the Bank was a ton of fun until the very end. I did not have any expectation that Naomi was going to win that.
And
Zero.
and again,
Yeah.
I just keep Naomi needs the Money in the Bank if she wants to be somebody. Alexa
The
Bliss
Money in
doesn't.
the Bank does not need Naomi.
And again, Alexa doesn't. Alexa could literally get a championship match this week and be like, okay,
Yeah.
send it.
Yep.
Uh, Steph, at this point, it's almost like shit or get off the pot. You've been in and out of a main event and title scene for what seems like forever now. Are you doing
Yep.
it or not?
Yep.
So when it comes to Money in the Bank, especially because it was such a short card, that pay per view could 100% go away, and those matches could get wrapped up in a 2-night SummerSlam.
Yeah. Or they could just bring it back to fucking WrestleMania because that's where
Ah,
Money in the Bank started.
yeah.
I would
My
love to
thing,
see.
I if they were to pull Money in the Bank, I would want the stipulation to be you still have to use Money in the Bank prior to Mania. So that way that
Yeah.
shortens the timeline. Like, so we don't forget about it. So it still stays relevant.
Yeah.
And that's something else too, is the Money in the Bank contract holder has become its own lifeline. Nobody remembers Otis carrying that motherfucker around.
No.
Nobody
Fucking Otis.
remembers fucking Baron Corbin carrying it around.
Yeah.
And I know it's recent, but Tiffany Stratton carried it right.
Yeah.
CM Punk carried it right.
Edge carried it
You
right.
want that like again, doing their own program thing, and then they would just be like, "Oh yeah, by the way, never forget, motherfucker." You know, like,
Yeah.
and then again, I don't need the false turn-ins consistently, you know, but again, I think the way and it I can't give all credit to her, but you know, the way we saw that build for Tiffany come up, you know, just the little crumb sprinkles, I think that was phenomenal. But I don't know. Otis didn't do it. I don't see Naomi doing it. And again, it's just going to be a handpiece for Seth Rollins. He's going to talk about it for the next month or so, and then I think he'll flash it, but he won't talk about it, and we're going to forget about it. And they're going to try and recreate the heist of the century when John Cena goes to exit with the
Yeah.
title and he cashes in, or when Cody finally beats Cena, or LA Knight, and it's going to be another Drew McIntyre moment where whoever that person is going to get runked right away.
Yep.
And part of me, while it takes some of the fun and shock and awe out of it, says just call your shot, man. Just say nope. Here, I want it this time at this place, and I don't give a shit if it's Wednesday morning at 2:30 a.m. in the Hart family dungeon. We're gonna get cameras in, and we're gonna send it.
And that's how that should be, dude. Honestly, 24/7, whatever. Just like the old school hardcore title. Let's fucking have a fucking playground match, bro. Like, like, why not?
I mean,
So,
be the ultimate heel. Oh no, Cody Rhodes is out with a torn pec and he's undercover. Lay on top of a fucking hospital bed, just like.
well, hey man, we got to take a quick short break, and we're going to be right back with you in the
I
next.
just ate 6 Doritos tacos. I just ate.
Welcome back to No Gimmicks. We are here. Our energy level has increased, and we're going to talk about Monday Night Raw. And Monday Night Raw kicked off hot with John Cena coming out and his fucking boring ass goddamn gimmick, which I am so fucking sick of. And tell me you're
Mhm.
not. You are
Yeah.
sick of it?
Yeah, I'm just waiting. Keep going.
He's out there running his fucking
Mhm,
mouth, and
mhm,
then the static hit, and
mhm.
we got Punk come
Uh-huh.
out to confront him.
I'm all about it. I said I was. I support it. Now keep going.
It was so great. I
Uh-huh.
cannot fucking wait.
Mhm.
And now Punk has to go to Saudi Arabia, which he can go and actually suck the blood money dicks.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh yeah. That how'd that taste?
Ugh. All right. I didn't ever expect that to happen
Did I
at
not tell
all.
you? Now hold on. I got to get my CM Punk hate out. Did I not tell you? Have I not told you that the motherfucker is not as genuine as you want him to be?
Hey man, money talks, my brother.
I,
That's
that's fine.
that's all
Just
I can
admit it.
say. That's all I can
That's
say.
fine.
It
Just
it did
he just needs to, and he said it when he came back. He's not here to make friends. He's here to make money. But
it
I
did
mean,
break my heart a little bit whenever John
he's
Cena
just
said you
he's
have
just
to follow
reeling
me.
everything back. Everything that you stood up for him for. Everything. Oh, he's not like that. Oh, he's not that guy. Come on.
Hey man, it broke my heart. I'm not gonna lie. Whenever John Cena said he had to go to Saudi, and then Punk said you're on. So it is what it is.
I'm here for it.
The
I'm all about it.
the thing about that match is it's going to be for the undisputed WWE Championship. It's going to be for that belt. The problem is John Cena is not losing that belt in Saudi Arabia.
No.
It's not happening.
Nope.
And if anything happens, that might be the night that Seth cashes in. Who knows? But I still don't think Cena's leaving Saudi without the belt. And I think it's going to be a wasted feud, in my opinion.
I
I think that they should have had Punk and Cena at Money in the Bank. Win, lose, draw, doesn't matter. That would have just reeled in their feud and made it all the better. And instead, they're doing it in fucking Saudi Arabia.
And so
And
here it is. I don't give a fuck about Saudi Arabia. It's just one more show that I'm not going to be at. I don't care.
yeah,
I, it's a fucking Seuss rhyme. I can get Cena Punk here. I can get Cena Punk there. I can get one Cena, two Cena, three Cena. I can get red Punk, blue Punk, no Punk. The goddamn feud is what I'm here to watch. I
yeah.
I do not care. And this is going to hurt a lot of people's feelings, but if there's one thing I've learned after traveling around is that maybe I am some sort of fucking bigot because it's none of my fucking business who paid who, how to get there. What is the difference in me watching WrestleMania from New Orleans or, Las Vegas and I'm sitting at home, or they're in Saudi Arabia and I'm sitting here watching it at home? I don't care.
There's absolutely no difference from us. The thing about the shows, there's no big difference other than that there's more than likely not going to be any big changes happening on those cards.
I mean,
Like,
well, you can watch The Undertaker almost die at the hands of Goldberg.
yeah,
You can watch the
but
worst Brothers of Destruction and DX match in history.
yeah,
Um,
continue. You can watch fucking Titus O'Neil fall underneath the ring at the greatest Royal
Titus World
Rumble.
Slide,
Yeah.
you can watch a set of fake titles that mean nothing but allegedly are going to make a reappearance, but they've shifted from where they're actually going to be. And this awesome trophy that's supposed to be the greatest world, all that means jack fuck here. You know, sorry, man. Like, so again, I don't care. I don't. Give me the gimmick matches. Yeah, sure. God damn it, you do it too. Uh, Now, speaking of Goldberg, we've seen a lot of stuff about his retirement match. I was worried that Saudi was going to try and get that, but I'm seeing that Goldberg's actually hurt himself training.
I
So
saw that too, and I thought it was going to be at the Saturday Night Main Event in Atlanta because that's where he's
yeah,
from and that's where he lives. So, I mean, if they're going to do anything now that Gunther has the championship, here's my biggest fucking fear with that. My biggest, you know exactly where I'm going. I'm scared that fucking Goldberg is going to come and spear his ass and fucking get it in 26 seconds, just like he did Brock Lesnar, get the fucking World Heavyweight Championship and carry it for a few weeks.
Seth, Seth,
And
Seth, Seth.
I have a
And
fear
I
that
I love
that's.
Bill. He plays for the Atlanta Falcons. He's Georgia Bulldog. Go dogs. But
Yeah,
I
it all depends, brother. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what they're gonna do.
I'd rather
But
watch The
then,
Rock come back and win it.
uh,
Tell me
fuck
I'm
the
wrong.
Rock, fuck the Goldberg, fuck the Rock, fuck the Brock, fuck, fuck them all, dude.
The only Attitude Era or only the only '90s wrestler we want back is Stone Cold. Fuck you.
Yeah, Stone Cold could come in, fucking win the championship. I'd be happy.
He could
That
be
that
fucking. He could be worse than what's that bitch's name now? Mercedes Mona. Yeah, Sasha. He can have every belt. Fuck him. Last real champion.
he could win the Royal Rumble, the Elimination
The
Chamber, win
greatest Royal Rumble.
WrestleMania.
The Saudi thick blood belt. The fucking. He can win the women's World Heavyweight Championship for all I give a fuck.
Yeah, man. Dude, beat Becky Lynch to do it. I don't give a shit. Like, let's just make it happen.
Nah, let's make it
Uh,
Charlotte.
oh, Charlotte. Okay.
She's got to insert herself, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Triple
So,
threat.
all right, coming back to Monday Night Raw. So, fucking that I was coming in late and I was cooking dinner. So I mean, let's face it, Monday Night Raw, except for a few key spots.
Flat. I mean, that's we're in okay, I don't know if we need to talk about Monday Night Raw or if we need to talk about what's really truly happening, like within the business at the moment. And
Yeah, oh, it's because that's
It's
the hotness right
it's
now.
getting it's getting
Nothing on
spicy.
programming is as hot as what is being talked about behind the scenes.
It's crazy to think what's truly going on. I, it's hard to swallow, to be honest, because my beloved WWE is not the beloved WWE that we know, and it's transitioning, and it's getting kind of hairy, man. Come on, tell me.
It's no different than going from the Attitude Era to the Ruthless Aggression Era. It's no different going from the Ruthless Aggression Era to the PG Era. We did this when Austin took his ball and went home. We did this when the next big thing ran through the locker room. We did this when Super Cena wins, LOL. We did this when finish the story. It's not new. It's doom and gloom. And WWE literally bought an entire fucking wrestling company and shit most of them away.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's okay. Now, are we going to like it? No. Do we still sit here and say the Attitude Era was the best era and we miss Stone Cold? Yeah. We don't miss The Rock anymore because apparently we're supposed to hate him, so that's what we do. Okay. We're fickle.
Fuck The Rock, bro.
But I mean, I still miss The Undertaker. But at the end of the day, right? Like, their time's gone. And I firmly believe that, and just because I've been hating on him the entire time, Roman Reigns' time's gone. Put him out to pasture, put him in the back 40, shoot him in fucking back, and leave him there to die. Not literally. I'm not that fucking cynical, but like,
Yeah.
he's run his course. You have milked that cow. There's nothing left for him. He is going to be the next Undertaker, where the next time he gets in a ring, he's going to get hurt. Not because he's not capable, not because he's not an athlete, but ring rust is real. And you don't believe me? Look at John Cena. John Cena's matches since he's been back have been shit.
They've been ass.
And again, I don't twist that. The entertainment value of John Cena and Randy Orton was phenomenal. I think Punk and Cena, I think we're all going to go into it expecting 2013, and we're going to get slapped really hard with 2025.
100%. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. Yep.
Yeah. So again, I don't want to say it's doom and gloom. It's doom and gloom right now, but fuck, man, that's everyone, right? That's the whole. The LA's on fire right now. There's a lot of doom and gloom. I'm moving to California. That's doom and gloom. No one's gonna remember, except for Ron Killings. No one's gonna remember what happened here in a year and a half.
I don't even know that we're going to remember that. I think that went very quickly. Ron Killings announced that WWE now or released him, and then we turn around and 10 days later he's right back.
Was
Like
it a work?
it wasn't 3 months, it wasn't 6 months, it was literally a fucking week. I mean,
Was it a work?
Triple H said it was a work, but then you've got people like Ron who says it wasn't a work. This is what happened due to you saying, we want our truth, tweeting about it, chanting about it. Like, I honestly think it's the same situation that they've got with Roman, where they offered Truth a contract and Truth said no, because you're not going to do the same amount of work for less money. No one ever will or would, because that's fucking dumb. And then they finally said, ooh, maybe we need to offer him more money. So they offered him more money, and there we are. And then now the situation that we're in is, we can talk about this or we can continue on with Monday Night Raw, is we've got Ron Killings in place of R-Truth, which I don't know that that's what the fans signed up for. And then you got motherfucker out there cutting all his hair off on live TV.
It's the smartest thing he's ever done.
You think?
Yep.
Okay, explain.
What's Stone Cold Steve Austin's real name?
Steve Austin
What was it before?
Williams.
Why'd he change it?
Well, he changed it because of money, straight up.
So again, whether it's a work or not, we know Ron Killing's time in WWE is coming to an end. That Father Time remains undefeated.
Yeah.
So now Ron Killings can go do his rap career after WWE. Ron Killings can do signings as Ron Killings.
Yeah.
It's in this day and age, and we've Ryback learned that lesson, right? Like that's the moneymaker. Like, your name is, years ago, wrestlers adapted that name and they went by that name for their entire lives, and there was no such thing as these contracts and lawyers doing all this shit.
Bullshit. Yeah.
Look at Mick Foley. Everyone who ever watched wrestling knows who Mick Foley is.
Yeah.
That is his real name. Matt and Jeff Hardy. That's why they've been able to be themselves wherever they've gone, because that's their name, and WWE couldn't do anything with it. So now, oh, wait a minute. John Cena. So now, I mean, who knows? Maybe he can launch a successful acting career like Dwayne Johnson.
Maybe.
I mean,
I follow you. I follow you. I know exactly where you're
I
going
can't
with
be
it.
mad
I
about
get
it.
it.
And I think that
No,
was
I'm not mad. But what I'm getting at here is just because he changed his name from Truth to Ron Killings, does that mean he changes his character?
it seems that
And
way.
yeah, but was
We're
that
getting
what?
we're getting the serious guy back.
When has he ever been serious? We haven't seen our Truth be serious
Are you
in
kidding me?
forever.
Yeah, exactly.
When's the last time we saw him be serious?
I mean, we're talking like
Attitude Era.
20 years ago.
Hey, quick, bro. That's like straight up the last time we saw Truth
When
actually.
he came back as R-Truth, he did that heel stint.
I don't remember it.
Yeah. Well,
And
so that's where little Jimmy was born.
yeah, but little Jimmy, that wasn't why he was being a heel. That's what
No,
really I think
little Jimmy came about during that heel run, and then little Jimmy morphed into like, wait a minute, he can see this guy. He thinks someone's
yeah,
actually, and then that gave us the R-Truth we know and love.
right.
And to your point though, I don't know that that's what we want, but I think we are going to be able to.
Adapt.
We're going to be able to keep. Thing is, all eyes are on him right now. He's what's wanted. So Ron Killings will get the attention, and then before, just like John Cena's not going out as a heel. I can. I'm not going to go out on the Sting fan and make a certain promise. If Sting ever appeared in WWE, I'll do some weird adult things. I'm not going to go out that far. But Ron Killings will revert back to R-Truth esque little Jimmy, Dominic Mysterio type shenanigans before he finally calls it quits.
Yeah.
And I think that's a to that point, like whether it's a work or not, you can't say that we as fans aren't being listened to.
No, and I agree with that. I think we're being listened to, but that was fucking loud. Everything that was being said was fucking loud. When it came to that, I mean, and that's just one
I mean,
person.
how long have I been texting you week after week, protect our truth at all costs?
Yeah.
And look what
And then,
finally happened.
yeah, I don't know, man. I'm still kind of just dumbfounded on Ron Killings going out there and fucking cutting all his fucking dreads off and moving on. We'll
I ain't
see.
worried.
I guess
My thing is
next week.
I'm not worried about hair. That doesn't bother me.
I mean, it's not about the hair though. It's it's just about the character. And I guess we're gonna see next week.
I'm
this is
excited
going.
because a former NWA champion is on WWE television now.
Yeah.
Ron Killings, the former NWA champion, is there. And I
Yeah.
hope that I hope that they bring that. I want them to, because we focused on how goofy he's been. I want them to focus on what he's actually accomplished. And
Yeah.
again, it's not the 58 fucking I 285 97 4 2770 champion reigns. It's hey, this dude's been in this business for 30 fucking years. Damn near. Busting his hump, changing himself, adapting. He's won multiple titles. He's worked with some of the greatest names in the sport. Let's see what let's give him one last run. And I think that's what it is. I think he knows he's on borrowed time. Work or
Yeah.
not, he looked at himself in the mirror and says, "Man, I got to stop. I need to do something else." And I think regardless of how it happens, this is the final run.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's going to end in a month. I'm not saying it's going to end in a year, but he is planning his exit strategy. He's putting his paychecks into the fucking stock market. He's looking at his 401k. He's looking at his family and loved ones going, it's time for me to come home. I don't have a date, but I'm coming home.
And that's good for him, and yeah, I guess we'll just see what this next year plays out.
But on the flip side of that,
Mm-hmm.
there's another awesome return. Possibly the one of the superstars I dislike more than Naomi.
Yep.
I need zero Bella action in my life.
Why? I don't understand it. I know why they're doing it
Oh, I know why she's doing
for
it too.
evolution, but why do we need Nikki Bella when we have? Yeah,
She's
right. I
got
know
money. She's got to pay that ex.
we've got
And she
so
can't stand that
many.
her ex is in the spotlight again and she's not there.
We got so many talented divas coming up. Divas, women wrestlers coming up from NXT. Straight up, man. Like, I'm even at this point in life now where we don't even need AJ Lee to come back. Like, we need to emphasize and lift up what we have
Yep,
now
sure.
and move on. Like, let fucking Rhea and Zelina and Liv and Alexa, let them fucking take the reins and just do this. We don't need fucking Bellas. We don't need AJ Lee. We don't need, and I'm gonna break your heart. We don't need Trish Stratus. We don't
No,
need
I mean that's
Lita.
fair. Yeah,
Yeah,
that doesn't break my
it's
heart. That's a fact.
yes. It's just time to move on. And let them do their thing. Like, I'm excited. I'm gonna watch the Evolution pay per view.
I
I'm going.
look, and again, like I said, in my travels, I've discovered that maybe I'm actually a bigot. I don't know. There is not a female superstar or diva that will compare, or none of us will ever have that Stone Cold Wrestle 38 moment with in the
No.
foreseeable future.
Yeah.
The next closest ones are Charlotte, Becky.
Well, I was gonna say, I'm not gonna lie. If there's a difference between having that stone cold pop when it's expected and known it's happening versus having a stone cold pop when you don't know what's happening. Like, even
Sure.
at WrestleMania 41, like, we knew that Stone Cold's glass was gonna break at some point at the night. We just knew it, and it did. Night two, and then he fucking ran over some chick at the, whatever. But it's the same thing. Like, back, let's just talk about Backlash in 2000 when you got Vince and Triple H fucking beating up on the Rock, and then you have the glass break and it's the fucking eruption of the
Sure.
crowd,
But
right?
again,
And it's
what I meant was, see, he was still an active competitor and superstar. I'm talking about WrestleMania 38. I can't find one person other than internet trolls who didn't want to see Stone Cold back
no,
in
absolutely not.
main event WrestleMania. again, I have yet to find a women's superstar, diva, whatever you want to call them, that has that same power. The closest one right now is Trish, and as much as I love her, she's not even she's not there. Lita wasn't
Oh,
there.
well, what I was getting at here is when Becky popped off at SummerSlam unexpectedly, whenever I was there, the roof on Allegiant Stadium
Yeah,
blew off the fucking
sure,
building.
but she was
Like,
still active competing.
no, she wasn't. That was when she was gone for a year and a half, and then she showed up.
I'm talking legitimate, like been gone for a decade. Yeah, I hear you, and I agree with you 1,000%. I'll never, but again,
No,
find me.
okay, I understand. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
It's not like Stone Cold been gone from competing for 15 years, come back and have a match.
yeah,
No, I get it.
we don't
I
have
know
that
what you're getting
caliber
at.
of women superstar, and
No,
we won't until Charlotte and Becky have been gone 10, 15 years. But again, don't don't come at me, internet. Nobody wants to see old women fight.
no, yeah. I
You
mean,
don't
they
believe
don't.
me? Look what happened with Mae Young and Moolah, and the only reason they got over is because Mae Young was taking bumps from the Dudleys
Yeah,
and giving
I
birth
was
to
gonna
Mark
say,
Henry's fucking hand
yeah,
child.
yeah. And Moolah was there just as a, yeah. There wasn't really Moolah wasn't taking fucking table bumps and 3Ds and shit. So or having Eric Bischoff eat her pie.
Well, no, it's time for me to go to bed. God bless Mae Young.
Oh man.
Anyway, back to the original point at hand. Yeah, we need to uplift. And I'm here to tell you, I'm not mad with Lyra. I don't hate on her, but I think she fell flat. I think they had great aspirations for her, and if they're not careful, Stephanie's going to do the same thing.
Oh dude, I don't know about that. If they can continue with what she's doing with what she's doing, what they're doing with Stephanie, she's gonna go far. I mean, her and Rhea Ripley are gonna fucking tear it down.
One,
I think that once that title gets back on Rhea, which it's going to, her and Steph are going to have some of the greatest fucking feuds.
all about it.
Like,
And again, I 1,000% want it.
I think the lower end of that Money in the Bank match, like Roxanne and those guys, I think they're going to have more of that struggle. But I think Stephanie is already coming in hot, and Stephanie and Rhea and Becky and Liv, I think she's on that level where Roxanne is still, you know, where Lyra and um,
I, I,
you get what I'm saying.
here, here we go. Here we go for the next JT's hot take. That's what I'm going to rename. I'm going to call it like I'm going to put a fucking logo on the screen every time, and it's just going to
Bloop, bloop.
Liv wouldn't be as hot as she is if it wasn't for Dominic.
No, that really elevated her. And we've had this argument before. Like, I'm a huge Liv Morgan fan. I think she's done great. But I think what her and Liv have done, her and Dom have done really elevated both of them. So,
Oh yeah, 'cause Dom's living every fucking dude's dream right now.
yeah. And I think the gimmick for him, he should have a new fucking girlfriend every 6 months at this point.
1,000%. I couldn't agree more. I mean, I
And
don't want him to go fucking full Val Venus. I don't want him to go fucking Big Daddy V, but like, I don't want him to go
yeah,
sexual chocolate, but yes, absolutely.
yeah.
I want him to be dirty and disgusting and continue to pull smoking hot women, and we go, this motherfucker.
Yeah. Roxanne bringing a bunch of chicken nuggies in a fucking donut box was probably the best thing I've ever seen in life.
That's a stretch, but you know what? You take it, buddy. If
WWE.
that's your win for the week for WWE,
Yeah, WWE, not my life specifically. WWE life. Okay. So,
uh, fuck the beer truck.
yeah. Oh, well, okay. Recent life. How about that?
Sure. You know what?
All right. It was funny.
Nonetheless,
I think JT's tired of my shit.
JT's not tired or shit. JT's just tired. But this kind of ties back into what we said. Raw fell flat because the next big memorable thing is the main event.
Yeah.
So let's I am still forever on the 4-letter, one word. Yeet.
Yeet.
I'm still on the Jey Uso train. I think he did. So again, moment in time. Here we are on a Tuesday night. So we are 25 hours, 26 hours. I don't do math in public. Post his title run. So now, at this point in time, take his title run from WrestleMania to now. Put it in front of you and look at it. He did exactly what he needed to do. That run, no matter how significant or insignificant it is going to be in the history of the WWE, of that championship, it did exactly what it needed to do. And regardless of what everybody said when he won it, the night after and week after week, he was perfect for what he did.
Yeah.
It could not have been executed much better.
I have no complaints of Jey Uso's World Heavyweight Championship run. I knew it was going to be short.
I need you to go back and watch some episodes of No Gimmicks.
Okay, tell me why.
Because you and Chris Roach are a bunch of fucking haters.
I've never thought that Jey Uso was the guy. But I do agree that he did what he needed to do as the champion. And I think that title run is going to be memorable. But I knew it was going to be short and I knew it was going to be sweet. Did I know that it was going to end on a Monday Night Raw against the guy that he lost at WrestleMania? No. Absolutely fucking not. I did not think that that was going to happen.
But this is exactly what me and you said this title needs to do.
Yeah, and it does. I think the World Heavyweight Championship is the working man's title. It when Seth won it for the very first time, I do not think that Seth should have had it for a fucking year. I think that it should have been transferred around 2 or 3 different people in the year, just like the World Heavyweight Championship did back in its heyday. Triple H was the World Heavyweight Champion. That motherfucker lost it 18 goddamn times. And I know it's not quite that many. Shut up.
Easy, Ric Flair.
We don't fucking math right now. What I'm getting
House shows don't count.
What I'm getting at though is he lost it, regained it, lost it, regained it.
Right.
And those things happen on Monday Night Raw.
Fought for it.
Right. And that's the thing about the World Heavyweight Championship. And I will debate this until I'm in the fucking ground, my dude. The World Heavyweight Championship is the working man's title. The Undisputed Championship is not the working man's title. This is the title. You're the Undisputed Champion. And it's more prestigious than the World Heavyweight. So you've got people like John Cena who's going to carry it, have these matches, and do what they need to do. Hey, go. I'll fix it later. Sorry. And then you've got, huh?
Way to go, Dad.
Dad life. You've got people like John Cena, but you also have people like Roman. You have people like Cody. Cody defended that title, a handful of times over the last year, but he showed up to work. The thing
motherfucker defended it more off camera than he did on camera.
Right, he did. But what I'm getting at though is that championship isn't meant to be handed around like the World Heavyweight Championship, in my opinion. So,
sure.
I do think that there needs to be two heavyweight championship, but one is always going to be lesser than the other. And I think that the WWE title, this guy, is always going to be on top, the most prestigious title in the business.
I don't know that I can align with that, just because I can't argue what you're saying that one's more, because that one carries the history and lineage. This World Heavyweight Championship doesn't. But my thing about that is I think that the easiest way to put this is we are lifelong wrestling fans. We are lifelong WWE fans. So we've seen WWE at what is possibly its worst, losing to WCW in the Monday Night Wars. And we've seen it at its highest in the Attitude Era. We've seen the highs and lows. We've seen the highs and lows since 1990 freaking 5, right? That the bottom line. We've seen and done the worst and best all through the past 35 years or 30, 29, whatever. Math in public, we don't do it.
No gimmick special.
I don't subscribe to the notion that one title is more important than the other. I subscribe to, and I've said this before, there is no healthy competition for WWE. I don't give a fuck. AEW is not competition, and it's not healthy competition. So they are trying to create that. They don't have to come out and say it. They don't have to come out and say it's Raw versus SmackDown. They don't have to come out and say that it's, strictly champion versus champion. That is what makes this generation of wrestler sports entertainers, right? You can be a sports entertainer, but you can't be a wrestler. Or you can be a wrestler who sports entertains, i.e., Cody. I think Cody brought more prestige to that title than Gunther did to the World Heavyweight Championship. And that is not that title's fault. That is Cody's work ethic and fault. Because this ties right in what I was going to say is I was very, looking back, I'm disappointed in Gunther's run with the World Heavyweight Championship. I want him to do better this time. So again, if you were to just flop them and put that title on Gunther and put the World Heavyweight Championship on Cody, for that instance, Cody would make that title mean more at face value, as in I am turning on wrestling for the first time to watch it. Wait a minute. I see this guy, I hear this guy. He is the guy. He's holding the World Heavyweight Championship. That must be the important title. Whereas us as lifelong fans understand what that title is, means, represented. And for what it's worth, I will tip my hat to Roman Reigns. We have that title because he combined two previous titles to make it. And somehow it picked up the lineage of another one. Whatever. Okay. DC, Marvel, multiverse, do your thing. But I don't think it's fair to just strictly put the pressure of that title is what that wrestler makes it. If Cody would have said, I'm going after the World Heavyweight Championship because that's the title that meant something. When I grew up, I didn't hear about being WWE champion. I heard about being the world's champion. That title would have meant more right now.
Yeah. I mean, I totally get that as well. So,
but to us, that title, beside you, will forever and always, and I think to most WWE fans, they will agree with you and say that title is the title to hold.
Yeah. And I can see exactly where you're coming from. If Cody Rhodes had won the World Heavyweight Championship, we may be having a different conversation. But at the end of the day, there's a reason why he didn't. And there's a reason why the Roman didn't have the World Heavyweight Championship. There's and that may be the path we're going towards.
But again, that's the title that Dusty never won, that he said he was going to bring home to his dad. Dusty won World Heavyweight Championships.
Yeah. And but again, that path may be coming where Seth, cashes in on Gunther, gets the World Heavyweight Championship, and then Roman comes after him, and whatever else. Who fucking knows? Honestly, I mean, here's the bottom line for me is I don't want to see, and I've talked about this 100 million fucking times. I don't want to see The Rock done. I don't want to see Seth versus Roman. I don't want to see it. We're getting to the point now where I don't even want to see CM Punk in the title picture because of just like if he's gonna win it, we know that it's not gonna be a super long title run. He's not gonna be able to do a lot with it.
Sure.
Like it is what it is. Like Cena, do I think Cena needed a 17th championship? Sure. Do I think he needed to do this fucking long ass goddamn tour with it? No, I don't. Do I even think that he needed to truly win the 17th? No, I don't. Like we
Yeah.
we're doing this because we want to make sure that he beats Ric Flair like in the WWE, but I'm done with John Cena for one. Until he gets back to his regular character, like, dude, this fucking heel shit he's doing, he doesn't even like fucking doing it. You can tell he doesn't even like fucking doing it. So,
Sure.
like,
I,
I, I'm
yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready for that to be over. And I hate that he wears the title backwards. Like, we talk about
Why?
we talk about how you think that people need to hold the belt like this.
I didn't say that they
Like,
have to hold the belt like that. I just say
I
that's how true
just,
champions hold it.
well, the true champions hold that shit turned around backwards on their waist?
Hey,
No.
fucking Undertaker wore it around his neck. I don't know.
He wore it around his neck when he rode his motorcycle,
Hell
bro.
yeah,
That's
brother.
where else he gonna put it? He can't wear that around his waist. Couldn't shift no gears, bruh. Like,
I don't think you shift gears with your waist, but who am I? I ride motorcycles
hey,
and you don't.
yeah. I don't know. Maybe the belt was too tight. I fuck. Anyway, at the end of the day, I'm fucking tired of John Cena.
Sure.
I think that
It
Punk has done everything he could fucking do. Like I'm still happy he's around, but the course is ran. Seth is Money in the Bank. He's gonna win a fucking title again. I don't like the fact that we're doing Braun Breaker, fucking Paul Heyman, Seth, and Bronson Reed. I don't need another fucking. I don't need it. I think we just it's time to build and this is where I'm gonna be fucking called out where I'm wrong because Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker are newer, you know, but we need to move on from and again, I'm going to be fucking murdered for this. We need to move on from Paul Heyman at this point, even though he's so fucking good on the mic. I get it, but the
yeah.
factions that Paul Heyman make, like it's the same fucking thing, year after year after year. Like it's time to move on. Like I want something completely, totally different. We had the Bloodline for fucking 8 years and it was the same fucking thing. And we're doing the same thing with Seth Rollins. Like, let's move on. Um, again,
So
my hot take.
but fun caveat off of that. Uh we didn't talk about it, but Jacob turning on Solo.
Oh yeah, see, fucking
Uh,
great.
yeah,
That's fantastic.
I love some Jacob Fatu. One, because I think he's a phenomenal athlete. Two, he's entertaining. Three, I just love the fucking behind the scenes photos and videos of this dude just being a good, humble dude. Because it's legit. He went to jail and had to get his life straight and all that. But
Dude,
like loads
he
of
is
Luger's fucking wheelchair, yes sir, no sir, love you, home, big homie. God
he
damn
is
it.
a star all on his own.
Yep.
And that's what makes him separate from everything else.
Sure.
Is like Fatu is a star 100% on his own. He doesn't need anybody else to do what he could do. I would back that motherfucker if he went against John Cena. I want fucking Fatu to win. Like
I, I
you know what I
I
mean?
want Braun Breaker and fucking Jacob Fatu right now.
Yeah, fucking make it happen. Like that would be fantastic. Whenever
Big
John
meaty
or
men slapping meat.
whenever Braun Strowman and Fatu were going at it, that was fun.
Fucking loved it.
Loved it. And then Braun got the fucking boot, which again, whatever. Um, yeah. I'm totally on your side.
Well, so
Fatu's fucking great.
that makes me again. I'm not claiming a side here. I'm not claiming this is the right answer. Um, in JT's world, I have an extreme bias. I have a bias that I don't. While I respect them and I understand how it came to be, I don't think athletes and celebrities should be getting paid as much as they are when there's people like teachers who can't live on their own on a single job. Like my my wife's an educator. If she was alone without being married to me, I don't know that she could afford a one bedroom apartment and anywhere in the United States. I don't know that I could. Obviously, it's times are changed. It's not 1950. I'm not making my wife a knuckle sandwich for dinner, right? Like, so it's a two income household, and that's very common. But I mean, with that, I feel like a hypocrite if I say they need to keep our truth and pay him more money. So it's like, is this the line in the sand where we're going to start seeing athletes, celebrities, etc., like start taking pay cuts? Because sure, we millions of people sit down and watch Monday Night Raw around the globe every Monday, but how much money is too much money?
Well, it goes back to the whole situation where how much money do you pay a fucking baseball player to fucking pitch a ball?
Yeah,
It's the same thing. Like, how much money does Dak Prescott need to play for the Dallas Cowboys?
sure.
Like,
Well, so
you
and
don't need
again,
to
right? Like
pay someone.
you go back and listen to the stories, the territories. And again, I'm not here. I'm not equating. I'm not saying they were better. I'm not saying new guys are better. But you know, wrestlers back in the territories, they they didn't wrestle for the money. They wrestled because that's what they wanted to do or had to do or what. I mean, even Stone Cold. You read his book and watch the biographies. You know, working on a freight dock at night, going to wrestling class during the day, eating nothing but raw taters and canned tuna fish because he just wanted to be a wrestler that bad. And then you watch the new show LFG, and you got Gunther on there spitting fire. No one cares how hard you try. It's like, are you there for the money, or are you there because you love wrestling?
Yeah.
Again, Logan Paul, is he there for money or because he loves wrestling?
Logan
It,
Paul's there. Logan Paul's there for fucking because of the love of wrestling, and I hate to
so
say that
sure,
because he
but I mean,
didn't
again,
need the money.
have you watched Stephanie's Places on Disney Plus or ESPN Plus?
I know.
It's a phenomenal show if you get a chance. But she sat down with Pat McAfee, and Pat McAfee talks about all these things. But you know, regardless of because the word love is a strong word. Uh, I love you as my best friend, but I also love my wife. That's two different types of love, but it's still love. Pat McAfee legitimate has a love for the wrestling business. And that doesn't mean he has to be an in-ring competitor. It means he can do what he's doing. He just talked about how excited he was because he made it big enough as a football player to get featured on TV on Monday Night Raw. Pat
Yeah.
McAfee doesn't do WWE for the paycheck. He does WWE because he loves it. I
Yeah.
think Cody Rhodes, regardless of, wrestling has more than one royal family, Cody Rhodes loves being a wrestler. And I don't know how true that is for a lot of the locker room nowadays.
No, no, 100%. I think there is a fine line between who is doing it for the love of the business and who's
Sure.
doing it for a paycheck. And sometimes you can tell it. I mean, again, Cody's doing it for the love of the business. I think Cena is doing it for the love of the business at this point. He doesn't need to be there. He knows he doesn't need to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, you would think that The Rock was doing it for the love of the business, but then he, you know, fucking, fuck The Rock. I mean, there's Seth Rollins is doing it for the love of the business. Like, Becky's doing it for the love of the business. Like, but then there's also a lot of the people, like, for instance, I don't know that some of the, like, Nikki Bella, I don't think she's doing it for the love of the business. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
I
I
I
think Trish Stratus coming back was doing it due to the love of the business. You know, um, but we don't know. Like, we don't know. We're not them.
well, I mean, and again, right? It doesn't have to be one or the other. It's a spectrum, right? Like, I love the business this much, but they're paying me this much.
The
And then
Undertaker loved the business.
yeah, sure, 100%. I mean, and that's undeniable. But again, it's different times, right? Like I said, you know, even in my profession, I have dudes who swear that this is the greatest thing they've ever done in their life, and then I got some dudes who look me in the face like, I was just out looking for a job and happened to stumble in here. Dude, you've been doing this for 25 years. Yeah, I'm too stupid to quit. Okay,
Well, and all I can say is, well, I guess if it makes you happy. Well, you know what I mean?
I'm a sadist. All
Uh,
right. Final thoughts on, and I guess, right, like we've talked about the last episode and this week.
mhm.
Kind of summarizing what we've been saying. The weekly episodic shit is starting to kind of fall flat. Although we've got Cody back, we've got a Jacob. Well, there's things on the horizon. Um,
Yeah.
you know, we don't know what's a work, what's actual backstage news anymore. Like here's another one that apparently Triple H is going to be released. Vince Russo said that Triple H is on the way out, so that's obviously true, bro.
Yeah.
Bro,
I Triple H ain't going nowhere, my dude.
um, so do
Yeah.
you think are we are we in a natural lull? Like I think, and I told you I think we are, or do you think that there is turmoil, like legitimate enough to cause concern?
I think that there's some turmoil going on backstage, and let me tell you the reason is TKO as a whole, not because of WWE, based on what I've read, is in a ton of fucking debt. And they're having to do some drastic things in the back to make shit continue to work. WWE worked well on its own, even through the pandemic and through their bad spots and blah blah blah, just because they were WWE. That's just now you've got TKO where you've got WWE, you've got UFC, you've got fucking the PBR, you've got whatever other little things that they've purchased underneath them. But when you see something that is that big, it does make you have those thoughts like maybe there is some turmoil. And then you've got The Rock who comes out on a random episode of Monday Night Raw and announces that you have WrestleMania in NOLA. And then they're like, oh, hang on. And then we're going to backtrack a little bit and say, look at all this fucking money we made in Vegas. We're going to try to do that again because we know that we can make money in Vegas. I do think that there is something going on. I've never in the and I think there's maybe a one time that WrestleMania has been in the same spot 2 years in a row. One time in the 42 years that WrestleMania has been a thing.
MSG,
And do what?
MSG.
I think like I can't even quote myself. Um, but I think that's the only place that WrestleMania has been twice in a row. So yes, I do think that there's some turmoil actually happening somewhere, but I don't know if it's WWE or if it's TKO as a whole. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
But I've also seen a lot of rumors and innuendo, which we're not supposed to talk about rumor and innuendo. Um, that Vince, are we gonna
Crispin who?
has been in talks with Saudi about putting a bid in with his new holding company. I mean, could you imagine just so Vince sold $250 million worth of TKO stock, but all that money has now been invested into his new holdings business or his holding company. And this holding company is what he's going to use to purchase tidbits here, there, start his own business, whatever else. And just humor me just for a sec.
Okay.
I don't think this is ever going to happen, but just humor me. What if Vince, in his Saudi powers that be, put this fucking outrageous bid to buy his company back, and TKO can't say anything but yes because of the outrageous offer, and then Vince swoops back in. Like, in no reality am I okay with Vince McMahon. Okay. But I can't see him not attempting to do that because the main reason why he sold WWE, and merged with TKO or created this company was because he was fucking pissed at Stephanie and Triple H for
I
voting him off. There's just this big thing.
can't. I
So
mean, at the end of the day, that's still
it's speculation.
speculation.
Speculation, it is. But could you all I'm saying is speculation wise, could you imagine? Holy fuck.
I So again, the problem with that is I don't, just from my thoughts, I don't think Vince would do that because at the end of the day, his Saudi buddies would still be majority owner, and all they're going to want to do is have Goldberg, Undertaker, Triple H, and I don't. He would. I feel like he realizes he would run into more problems with his future Saudi partners than he would ever had on his own or with TKO.
Do you think
Because
Vince made do you think Vince made a mistake selling WWE, even if he was outed? And then he came back, obviously. But do you think Vince, and I know this is hot and we shouldn't, do you think that he made a mistake merging with TKO and allowing WWE to be a big company within the TKO umbrella?
uh
And we can't sit here and talk like we really know
so again,
the business, but
and again, I don't know Vince. I'm going to say no because simply from watching documentaries, from how I've seen and heard and read how he was as a businessman, Vince took very little personally. The speculation of Triple H and Stephanie outed him, ostracized him. Fucking Bruce Pritchard turned his back on it, whatever. At the end of the day, Vince McMahon has forgiven more people than I've hated in my entire life on the aspect of business. I think Vince McMahon's ego, because again, regardless of the outcome, you cannot, nor will you ever separate Vince McMahon from WWE. They could change their name to fucking OPZ, whatever the fuck wrestling acronym that is. It will always be tied to Vince McMahon. So Vince McMahon will live forever. That WWE will I do not see it going the way of AWA or NWA. It's going to be around no matter how small, even if it goes back to only filling fucking high school gymnasiums, it will still exist in some form or fashion. And that means Vince McMahon and his own mind will live on forever. And that is why he sold, gave another opportunity, and removed himself to allow that to flourish or to continue. Because had he stayed, had it gone, it would have just, it'd be lower than where it's at now. And I still don't see it as low, right? TKO struggling. Fucking McDonald's is struggling. Like everyone's struggling. It's just that we are in it is such a niche environment. Now, I talk about this with my dumb redneck buddies all the time about NASCAR. NASCAR viewership is down, and it's been steadily declining since Dale Earnhardt's death. And they cannot seem to find something to bring it back up. Wrestling doesn't have that problem. Wrestling continuously goes up and down. Whether you like to admit it or not, wrestling is bigger right now than it was in the Attitude Era, but it's on a downward trend. It's like the market, and I'm not trying to drag politics into it, but everyone wants to talk about current president, former president. Oh, look, but what are the optimistic people? You buy at the dip. So if TKO's in a dip, buy the fucking TKO stock because guess what's going to happen next April? Wrestle motherfucking Mania. They're on UFC 316. Sure, it's going to take a while, but think about what's going to happen at UFC 350. That stock's going to go up. Me and you might not give a fuck. We might be dead and gone. But if for some reason me and you come across $10,000 and we buy some TKO stock and we gift it to our children at UFC 350 and WrestleMania fucking 100, that shit's going to be worth a pretty penny.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's that to me, that's Vince. Vince just looks at the world as a market. It's in a dip. How can I cash in on it? How, and I don't mean not just monetarily, but how can Vince McMahon live? Because
Yeah.
that's how big his ego is.
Well, I like it.
Do you though? It's horrible, but
I
it's true.
mean, no, I mean, it just, it's a different take. It's a different opinion. And, it's brings it to a bigger spectrum than just wrestling. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like it opens up the wider picture to what it truly is. So, but
Well, and again, just a quick back on it. Like, I don't know what's left. You don't know what you don't know. But I just go back to this. What's one of the biggest sports in America?
baseball, football.
Football. What is something within the past, what is it, like 25 years that has revolutionized the way people watch football? A stupid fucking camera on a wire that follows people. Who came up with that idea?
Vince.
Sure, we have
Yeah.
drones now, but the XFL was the first league to put fucking microphones in helmets
Yeah.
or on the coach's sideline.
Yep.
That was Vince McMahon. Like, the motherfucker, he's the closest thing to Walt Disney I got to experience as a living being. Walt Disney invented fucking Doritos and surround sound. How many people actually know that? That's true. That's a fact. Not a lot of people know that. But, how many motherfuckers eat Doritos every day? You can thank Walt Disney for that.
I love me a Dorito.
I bet you do. Cheese fingers.
Oh God.
With
Well,
that,
hey man.
it's
With that,
it's coming down. Like, the sleep is coming near. Some of us actually have to fucking work around here, you bum. Some of us
yeah,
don't get
me
to sit
too.
around
You
all day.
some bitch. Shit.
Uh,
I
so
think it's your week for
I mean,
what is it?
I told you it is my week because I wanted it because I fucked you last time and thought of one as I was delaying. But coming from way up there, leaping and flying higher than Montez Ford, and hitting twice as hard as Mick Foley coming off the Hell in a Cell. It is off the top rope question time, my friend. I actually had to do a little bit of research for this one because I couldn't remember it. So if I need to go first, I will because it is very out there. It's kind of a two-parter. If you can't answer the latter half, I understand.
Okay.
But what is your favorite obscure piece of merchandise that you own or you remember from back in the day?
Oh, obscure.
So, my example, I had the WWF Wired.com computer programmable Stone Cold action figure.
That's
You had to
cool.
you had to have a special code that came in the box to log on to a website to download Stone Cold saying and phrases into this fucking action figure and press a button and it would fucking talk.
Oh my gosh, that is fucking cool.
And I found one on eBay for $17. I'm half tempted to buy it. I know it wouldn't work. I'd have to buy a fucking Windows 95 computer to make it work, but I'm
Dude,
gonna
if you don't buy that shit, send me the link because I'm buying it. That's fucking cool.
yeah, I don't did you ever see this thing?
I don't know.
Yeah, so we can talk about it later, and I encourage those of you to look it up. Yeah, and again, the name changed a lot, but it's Stone Cold Steve Austin Internet Active Electronic Figure on eBay. But yeah, so that was a pretty cool one I had. And I'd be remiss as a '90s child. I still have two in the protective plastic case: Stone Cold and Austin 316 Beanie Baby. I have both of those.
That's fucking awesome.
And I don't know why they paired them this way, but as a kid, I had a Stone Cold and Kane walkie-talkie. Again, I know those are toys. That's still considered merch.
That's
And
merchandise.
yeah, but again, right? Like
All right,
again, going back
man.
to Vince McMahon. Vince, I mean, obviously, like back in the day, the licensing, you could go to Party City and get a tablecloth with superstars and shit on it. But I just like, man, I can't believe they fucking made that, and my parents bought me that shit.
Man, that's hard. Obscure.
Because
The
again,
thing is, like, the the earliest thing that I can remember getting was just the old school like rubber wrestlers that didn't fucking hardly move.
yeah,
Uh, but I don't remember getting like walkie talkies or anything. I remember getting a foam winged eagle WWE
those are
championship or
so cheap.
WWF. Yes. I remember getting one of those because my mother got pissed off because we were using dish towels as WWE championships. And then once we stopped using the dish towels, they continuously had to buy poster board because we were making WWE championships out of poster board. We would get 3 poster boards and then tape them together and then cut a big
Yeah.
belt out and then
So,
use those belts.
uh,
Obscure wise, I mean, honestly, I'm gonna just I guess say probably the Titantron that had all the
the one
characters
that you could
on
set
it.
the certain action figures on and it would make noise.
Yes.
That was just a phenomenal
Welcome
toy.
to the
Right? It's wrong.
Titantron.
Yeah.
And then had Stone Cold or Kane or
Yep.
Vince or whoever else. That's probably going to be. I had that one, and then I also remember when they came out with a SmackDown version of it that actually had like the old SmackDown UPN stage. They had one of those, and we had that one. But those are the most obscure.
Yeah. Well, so like again, it's the same thing, but like, do you remember WWE Crush Hour, the video game?
Yes, on the GameCube, the cars.
I
Oh my
had it on
god,
PlayStation 2. Like, what a fucking wild concept that was.
it was so much fun though. I had a blast playing that
I
game.
literally watched a 30-minute video on YouTube the other night of someone walking through it, just like, God damn, like,
I know it was a ridiculous game, but it was fun. I
yeah,
enjoyed it for what it was, and if it had WWE on it, I was buying the fucking game,
yeah,
obviously.
that's
So, but I had a GameCube, and most people had PlayStation 2.
yeah,
So I played WrestleMania 18, WrestleMania 19.
yeah.
I played Day of Reckoning.
Oh,
Um,
God damn,
I,
that's
I
obscure.
know. Yes, and Crush Hour on the GameCube.
So one that I wish I still had. I had WrestleMania 2000 on the Game Boy Color.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, what a simple but fun fucking game that was.
It was. And then I remember having like okay, so I had the GameCube and then my grandmother, my mom's mom, I called her Mimi. She bought me a PlayStation 2 when Here Comes the Pain came out.
Yeah, you texted
And
me the other night.
yes, I played Here Comes the Pain, but then I also made her get me SmackDown Shut Your Mouth. So I played
Classic.
Shut Your Mouth, Here Comes the Pain, and then everything else SmackDown versus Raw going forward on PlayStation. So
So
anyway,
so I just so I have my wife's tablet here. So and we actually so you came up by yourself. That was for the was that for the Rumble?
Royal Rumble. Yeah.
So you remember we went to one of the old school
Yeah.
toy shops in town. The maximum sweat action figures. The ones you filled with water and pushed a button and it
Uh-huh.
made them look like they were sweating. So that's on this list. Holiday ornaments. This is all kind of new stuff. So here's another one. WWE pizza prints. Uh, so you could buy prints that you could put on your oven pizza. Or, and I just need you to
Oh
know that
my
that is as
god.
recent as it has Undertaker and John Cena on that print.
And that's probably the reason why I'm fucking blind, because there were so many chemicals in that shit.
And look, the Crush Hour video game made it. And so again, like Bootios, I forgot we could buy those. I never had them, but that
Yeah.
um
Videos.
WWF Superstar Table Hockey. Like, why?
Yes. Dude, they fucking gimmicked it all.
Well, so again, and I was getting ready to say that at one point is like, late 90s, early 2000s, they had WCW and WWE had monster trucks. WWE had drag cars. Like, at one
Yeah.
point, both of them had sponsored a NASCAR. Like,
Yeah.
so there was a point where if you could get your name and logo on it, they did it. But yeah, I'm definitely going to try and find a good link for that action figure and send it to you.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And then again, right, just like you want to find a PS2 and play Here Comes the Pain, it's like, do I go venture out? I could probably climb in my mom and dad's attic and get the old compact Windows 98 computer out and try and spin up. Um, but yeah, so you got lucky, didn't have to do off the top rope. You're welcome.
What was part 2?
So the part 2 of that was most memorable, like I said, and we just kind of went down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
what
Got it.
what that you owned or was the most memorable, and we kinda hit it all in one with some of that shit, and like I said, there's some other stuff, like, I do remember, like, they had specific necklaces and jewelry, but that's not obscure. Fucking
Yeah.
program in the late '90s, early 2000s, a programmable action figure, obscure as shit. The the walkie-talkie set, Why Stone Cold and Kane, they had a feud that lasted, like, a month, I don't know.
I need to post a video on our TikTok, but do you remember what I found at my dad's house?
Yes.
My John Cena spinner belt buckle,
Yeah.
brother. Like, dude, come on. Yes, I'm gonna be wearing that fucking loud and proud at the next WWE event that I go to,
Oh,
just
yeah?
because. Why
When
not?
hey, someone might offer you some
Survivor
bones for that.
Series.
Bro, I'm so
Yeah.
I need you and the missus to come out because one whole room is yours. My mom and dad already claimed the downstairs room, but y'all can come in and decorate that room upstairs however the hell you want.
Dude, we're on the way. You just tell us when.
Hey, you can be y'all can ride out there with us. I don't give up.
Shit. Well, hey man, it's getting late, so
Yeah,
we need
old
to wrap
man.
this up. Ah, I gotta take some children to some events in the morning. So
Call you old man, but I got to go to the doctor in the morning.
oh yeah, well, that's coming for me pretty quick, don't worry. So all right, man. Hey, this has been No Gimmicks. Had a blast, and can't wait to record again. Hopefully, very soon. Probably, hopefully, within the next few days, maybe a week, and then we'll get back together and get this going. Again, I'm Brady. That's JT, and we unfortunately are missing our best buddy Phil. But he will be front and present on the next week.
If
You love
somebody wanted to go
Phil.
to the bar and be irresponsible tonight,
Hey, you know what? I enjoy spending time with my
I'm
wife.
talking
Thank you.
about Phil. I would never accuse you of being irresponsible.
Phil, where the fucking Phil? God
Fucking
damn.
motherfucker.
Fucking Phil, son of a bitch.
He's
All
probably in
right.
Saudi
Well,
Arabia.
yeah. Probably fucking waiting on a CM Punk title reign. Uh, all right, brother. Well, again, JT, love you, dude, and cannot wait to get back together. And yeah,
Let's
man,
send
I'll
it.
catch you down the road.
We'll holler at y'all down a dusty trail.